Hello everyone, you find me here on a very boring motorway in northern France because, like most people over this weekend in late June, I'm making the pilgrimage down to Le Mans for the 24-hour race. Should be an absolutely great race this year. Ford are back with their GT after 50 years to rejoin battle with Ferrari. What's not that exciting though is the drive down there. I've got to get down there in double quick time so I can see the drivers' parade and get my press accreditation, but on the way back I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is our first proper trip in our TTS Roadster, a chance to really stretch its legs, and I wanted to have some fun with it. On the way back, we're going to go no motorway, no toll roads, and just take those Rue Nationales, hopefully see a little bit more of France, find out a little bit more about this car that we're living with for the next few months, and whether or not you, this time next year, should also do the same thing and take a bit more of a scenic route down instead of blasting across northern France as quickly as possible. In the meantime though, I've got about 220 miles to go, so I should probably crack on and I'll speak to you later on. So here we are at Le Mans, we've arrived and I have some vital statistics to tell you about the boring drive down. As I said, it's nearly all motorway except when you go through Rouen. It's about 413 miles according to my trip computer and took 7.5 hours. That's door to door, so that's from my home in the middle of London all the way down here to the Cirque de la Sarthe and parked up outside the Audi Racing Hotel near the Mulsanne Strait. I can even see the Ferris wheel out in the distance there, which is cool, and I found this rather gorgeous TTRS Coupe, the new 5-cylinder that's coming out in September, to park next to, so things are looking pretty good. Now 7.5 hours does sound like quite a long time for what I told you is the short route down here. There's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, I got slightly lost and I went through Le Mans town centre while the drivers' parade was going on and all the streets were blocked off. That's my fault. And also I had to stop by press registration to get this lovely looking photo of myself. So all in all, I think a pretty good start to the morning and the race weekend. There really is nothing quite like the 24 hours of Le Mans. The sheer scale, the complexity and speed of the cars, the effort of the teams, and the heartbreaking cruelty of endurance racing make it captivating from the first lap to the final flag. And as it turned out, 2016 was a vintage year. Ford were back in the GT class and fought a running battle with Giancarlo Fisichella in his Ferrari, still separated by just seconds as the night wore on. The number 7 Audi had an early failure which slung it all the way back to 58th place, only to slowly work through the pack, and at the front the Porsche and Toyotas seemed to be neck and neck, until a fire in the number 1 Porsche meant it seemed Toyota would finally get that elusive first win. Yet a race that started in torrential downpours and safety car conditions ended in glorious sunshine, and after the madness of a final lap victory for Porsche and tears stinging the eyes of the stricken Toyota team, we loaded up for the long drive back, ready to take the road less travelled.
Here we are on the Rue Nationales of France. The sunglasses are on, the roof is down, we're in a bright yellow UK plated car, so the douche factor is pretty high. But what a difference. Rather than schlepping through the motorway and the traffic, I've already knocked off 40 miles of 136 miles it's going to take me to get to Rouen. The beauty of Rue Nationales, like the ones they have in France, is they're really well sighted. If you're in a car as quick as this one, then overtakes are an absolute breeze, so you very rarely get held up. There's not loads of twists and turns to really keep you entertained, but there's enough to kind of keep you concentrating, keep you interested, which means that even though technically it's going to take probably an hour longer than it would on the motorway, actually time feels like it's moving a lot quicker. But I just thought I'd share with you some of the things that I've grown to really enjoy about the Turbo Banana, as I've named our TTS Roadster. It's a really, really good all-rounder and it's a fantastic roadster, but it's not necessarily the last word in sports car thrills, but I genuinely really don't think that matters. Even with a manual gearbox, the clutch is nice and light, you can leave it in sick, the gears are really well spaced, there's plenty of torque from the turbo low down, so you don't need to change that often. It's a really relaxing thing to go long distances in. The TTS comes with the magnetic ride dampers that you can spec as an option on the standard TT as standard, so you get a really good balance between a nice grippy car that's got good body control and a really comfortable ride, particularly on these super smooth French roads. I've got the comfort and sound package, which gets you these cool digital temperature readouts on the climate control and a great Bang & Olufsen stereo. And we also went for the open air driving package, which I haven't really needed at all because it's been so pleasant. The rain stopped and we've had the roof down the whole way back so far, but that gives you these air vents here in the back of the headrests, heated seats, things like that, and they did come in handy when it was tipping it down for most of April in the UK and we had sleet and snow and that kind of thing. It meant I could get the roof down a bit more than I was expecting.
Alright everyone, it's probably about time to confess that I was wrong. I got a little bit carried away when I left the circuit, as you can probably tell. I had the roof down, sunglasses on, ecstatic from an incredible finish to an incredible race. Now I'm about 6 hours in to a very long drive back. What I forgot was this particular part of northwest France is a lot like Norfolk, in that it's very flat, it's very dull. Don't get me wrong, there's been places where I've absolutely loved it. Great corners, really beautiful scenery, chance to kind of ring the engine in this car a little bit, properly work the gearbox, all stuff that I missed on the way down. It's still not quite enough to take your mind off the fact that you would have been home about 4 hours earlier, give or take. So to sum up, I hope you're giving you a small idea about why I like this TTS so much, and I really do like this car. I've been thinking about it, and people rave and rave and rave about the Golf R. Say it's nearly a perfect hot hatch. A lot of journalists say that that's the car that they would choose to buy with their own money. Well, I mean, the TTS is pretty much a Golf R. It's the same powertrain, it's got the same four-wheel drive system, it's got 10 brake horsepower more, but unlike the Golf, and if you don't need the practicality, then it's got a prettier body, a nicer badge, a much nicer interior, and they drive very, very similar. If anything, the TT is a bit more fun. If I have to give you some advice, it probably would be, yes, go to Le Mans. It's an amazing race. It's an incredible experience. It's something you'll never forget. But if you're going to drive back, either you need to plan a route where you're definitely going to get some proper driving roads, or just go back on the motorway with everyone else. You'll be all the happier for it.